Get some music going. Dun, 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 dun.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Dead Air Dudes. I'm Izzy.
I'm Raka. What up, Dead Air Nation?
What up, Dead Air Nation, all the dads out there. Today we have a movie review of the Netflix film starring Charlize Theron, The Old Guard. I think it came out, what, a couple weeks ago at most? Directed by Gina Prince Blythewood, taken from the graphic novel written by Greg Rucka and illustrated by Leandro Fernandez. Rucka, you want to start it off?
All right. I mean, we have another graphic novel turned into movie, which I can get too deep in. That's another story for another day. That we have a couple graphic novel ideas. Hopefully someday it'll be turned into the same show. But anyway, Old Guard. What can I say? If you are someone who have ever watched The Highlander, this is about as similar as you can possibly get as far as a plot line. There are some, actually 4, select people who are immortals. They know they're immortals. It's a curse and a blessing. But for reasons unique to each and unifying to each, they are in the business of doing good, kind of like guardian angels. They're led by Charlize Theron's character, and in the very beginning of the movie, they're being asked to do a job. For some reasons they didn't get into. They alluded to that there's been problems and issues. They vetted the job. They think it's all good.
Oh, yeah.
One of the
guys, Booker, vetted the guy, Copley, who had the job.
Right.
I believe it was something to the effect that they had kidnapped some kids and they were going, it was a search and, rescue mission, basically. And should we get into detail or should we just, give a little overlay?
We'll do a quick overlay. Without going into great details, they get screwed. They got set up. So they know that somebody else there knows who they are, what they're about. They don't know the extent of it.
What they are.
But they need to stop it. They need to cap it. At the same time, as they regenerate, they get shot up, but they regenerate. It's captured on video. They know they're being either hunted, so now they're going to hunt for the guy who set this whole thing up, Copley.
Right. Spoiler.
As you find out, it's intricate, but as you find out, there's another person, a soldier in the military, a Marine, by and large, a very good, respected, integral person, Niles. Great character, Niles. She's I guess in the Middle East, and she gets hurt. And she realizes herself that she got slit in the throat. She should have died. It was a fatal injury. She does not. In fact, the wound heals instantaneously, and you cannot see it. It does not leave a mark. So the group of 4 immortals, they all share the same dream that Miles has. They're almost like they're like telekinesis. They're like telepathic. They have some kind of connection. So now they know that somebody else out there exists. They have to get her, and at the same time, the mission is to find Copley and stop him and everything else that he knows. Layered in the backdrop is Copley is funded and is working with a ruthless pharmaceutical company, Pharma, and the bad guy who runs the whole thing, Merrick. He proceeds with the guise of saving the world, curing the world, but he wants power, he wants control, he wants fame, he wants everything. So his end game is to capture the 4, test them like guinea pigs, slice and dice them up as long as it takes to get to the secret of their genetic healing powers. That, in a nutshell, is the plot line. I don't know if I want to go further than that. I think that's what you need to know.
If you guys didn't, really understand or really get the full aspect, essentially the 4, they're immortal. Okay, and so meaning they regenerate. They could be killed, but they come back. All right. Now, for years, for hundreds of years, maybe even hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years, there was only four, and now all of a sudden, Niles is the first one in I don't know how many years. So they're compelled to go research and pick her and save her because she's one of them. Now, we're not going to get into the details of how, Andy, who she has a whole big name, Charlize Theron, and who she is really and everything in between and how she feels that. Imagine if you, which is, the basic premise of the thing, how would you feel if you lived millennia and everyone that you knew you loved died, yet you still kept on living? Where, at what point would you say, you know what, I'm done with this shit? Anyway,
back to the movie.
You have lots of action. You have lots of blood, lots of gore. You have great fight scenes. I give Charlize kudos. The majority of the scenes actually were done by the actors, which is pretty cool. And hey, man, I enjoyed it. Lots of gunplay, lots of gun battle.
She was badass.
And bro, if you liked her in Atomic Blonde, bro, same thing, just shorter hair, black. Boom.
It regenerates.
Elbows,
and broken arms, and then it heals back. Gunshots to the chest, dead center mass, and she comes back. And yes, she's badass. There's a lot of fighting, a lot of great martial arts, a lot of great play, guns shooting everywhere. Not the most layered or complex original plot line, but I think the director did the best that she could with what's given to make it engaging, enjoyable, fast-paced. I do like a few, not overdone with the flashbacks, and one pivotal flashback is actually very, very, very crucial.
Yeah, which we're gonna leave out. You guys, it's cool. So
we'll leave out. This particular flashback ties in two major points that Andy's character is,
and the way she do, basically the way she is.
She's haunted by guilt of something that she had made a promise to do and she never fulfilled and kept up with. And then the other part of it is embedded is the sequel Origins, which is bound to come. And I know they're contractually bound for at least a second movie, and now Izzy tells me a third one.
They had agreed to the main actors or actors, whatever you want to say. There was an opportunity. If it did well, there was going to be for another 2 sequels. Now, spoilers abound. Watch the movie, and then you guys make your own opinion on what can or cannot happen if they do make sequels.
So with that said, right, Netflix has brought to the table quite a number of original movies, action movies. They got some star power with them. We reviewed and watched Extraction, Platform. There's a couple other flicks that they have funded and made and produced onto their.
Hey, they're a full-fledged Hollywood studio. There was nothing in this movie that said, "Oh, it's direct for video."
No, it's a feature film.
This was probably the best summer blockbuster of the year so far, I would say.
Yeah. It qualifies.
So I can't include that.
So with that said,
so far,
I found it extremely engaging. I thought it was very entertaining. I thought there was not a lot, if any, dead spots. It moved along fairly quickly. The acting was superb on all around. The camera work, cinematography, the sequencing, everything was believable. Everything was well done as far as, it's unbelievable what's happening, but it flowed. There wasn't glitches where like, oh, that's impossible, whatever. It was really well done in the side effects and the pacing. I thought they hit their beats. I thought they didn't stay too much in the stagnant water. but there could have been a little bit more, my opinion, a little more tweaking to show off a little bit of originality.
Yeah, but I think it was geared on purpose. I had not read the original graphic novel, but I know Rook as a writer. I know that he wouldn't just deliver this. And again, I'm not knocking this, but how can I put this without something it is?
I know it's not one-dimensional, but it has a one-dimensional feel.
Graphic novel is a lot higher than movies, usually. And I know he's a good writer, so I think it was a paint by numbers, kind of, sort of, for him. So, anyway, your rating.
All right, my rating. I would have given this the top rating, which is the butter, the popcorn, the salt, the nachos with cheese, and the dip, and everything else on top. I just wanted a knockout punch. They won the fight. There was a few knockdowns. There was a lot of standing eights.
Or a little more, something.
It didn't have the Mike Tyson lift him off the canvas KO. It's more of a TKO. But in that said, the best popcorn with butter next to all the works. So it's in that stratosphere. You know, not a great flick, a very good flick. That's where I'm going to leave it right now. And that's good. That means I will come back to watch the sequel. That means I will recommend it. That means I did enjoy it. You, sir.
Well, yeah, for me, I have a similar feeling in the sense that I was totally engaged throughout the movie, and I really enjoyed the lore of the Guard. I enjoyed the history and what it can be, and the whole internal ideas and the dialogue within the characters. But I was more me internalizing it within itself. I think it could have been a little better. I think they could have delved deeper into those aspects, which would have probably bored some people, but it would have, made for a better movie. The action sequences are phenomenal. The acting was very good. So I can't give it the highest rating, but again, I would give it a popcorn with butter, which would be just below. And I'm actually looking forward to the sequel. Hell, I'm looking forward to this sequel more than the Extraction sequel. How about that?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt. I mean, again, no spoilers here. I don't want to say too much, but there is a scene where Charlize Theron's character, Andy, feels her vulnerability. I'm going to leave it at that. I think it could have been in more of a dramatic way that shock value hits her.
Instead of kind of like, oh, okay.
It was too smooth and understated. And I understand what relevance happens afterwards, where she actually is helped by the kindness of humanity and a stranger. I get that part, but the initial part, when she's struck with the realization that she may not be as completely immortal and fortressed and
move on.
Yeah. So that's one of those criticisms that I have that take it away from being a 10 to an 8. With that said, enjoy the movie, watch the movie, enjoy the summer blockbuster, enjoy the acting, enjoy the, not everything out there is going to be the world's best movie, but you will have an enjoyed experience viewing this movie. It's fun. It's one of the best things out there on Netflix right now. It's one of the best movies out there right now. Period. Stop. So that's where we stand here from Dead Air Dudes Nation. Enjoy the movie, eat the popcorn, drink, and eat responsibly. Remember to save the whales. I'm Rocco.
I'm Izzy. Follow us on our YouTube. Like and subscribe. Hear us on our podcast. Check us out on our social media. Thank you for everything. I'm Izzy. Save the whales. Take care, everybody.
Till next time.